Must dig my dig in the mashed potatoes. Go hog.
It's a team sport. It's not a talent-based sport.
We got Bobby fucking Petrino back. If I'm honest with myself right now, it's a cool 12-0. Oh, look at that tornado. Baby, kegs and eggs.
But here's my point, okay?
It's Division I football!
Love that
Damn
clip.
right.
I love that clip.
I knew you would, Erik.
I love that clip. And you know what? You know who needs to hear that clip? Mike Norvell. Okay, first of all, I'm watching that game last night. I was invested in Florida State. Let's just peep the situation. Your quarterback gives up a pick six on a throw across the hash marks on a throw he never should have made. Boom, pick six. 2 plays later, he has a high school level fumble. Hey, dude, you know what? You're taking your helmet off. You're sitting down right there if I'm the coach. Hey, buddy, you know what? You came in. It's not working for you. You're done. You know what I mean? Like, he was the backup quarterback, not what was his name, Brock Glenn. So he comes out there. He looks putrid. They roll him out there again, and he has another fumble. So now Duke is winning 17-3, and they have 58 yards of total fucking offense. So then you bring in this freshman quarterback. He drops a dime to wide receiver 5, to number 5, who's a wide receiver, don't know his name, fucking dropsick, who gave zero effort to make a tackle on the pick six. You know what, buddy? You're done. All these coaches right now are so fucking petrified where if they actually coach and a player has some repercussions for fucking up, they just leave him in the game. I mean, this NIL stuff, this is the worst thing about NIL because, like, dude, you know what? You shit the bed against Duke. I'm taking you out of the game. If you want to transfer, fine. Have fun playing at fucking Akron next year, dude. Am I wrong? You know, am I legit wrong with what I'm saying, though?
I think the only issue is those. I mean, I agree with you that, like, one of the negatives of NIL has been, like, obviously it's more player empowerment, which generally good thing, but also you do get these coaches that are scared to not bench players or not discipline players for certain things. It's
look, I know he's got a monster buyout, but you got to seriously be having that conversation right now.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have it. They're not gonna do anything this year.
You got to do it now, so that way you get ahead of the curve and you're not fighting everyone else.
No, they're not doing it like this year.
What?
I don't think they're gonna. No, I don't think Norvell's gone at all this year.
See, that's why I can't be an AD, own a team, or be a GM because my patience level for stupidity is none. My patient level for stupidity is none, and that dude would be on the unemployment line. And with how much money these college football teams bring in, paying his buyout, that's not that big of a deal in my eyes. Just pay the buyout, move on, just get somebody else. I mean,
I don't think he's going. No, I don't think he's gone at all this year.
Jim, you're too much of you're a better person than I am, Jim.
That's not even that. I just think that, like, the ADs and whatnot, they still fully believe that they have a young class coming in. I think they're gonna go with Norvell again next year.
Jesus,
I think he's safe. That's Erik, by the way, Uncle Rico,
venting,
coming in hot. I am XFL Jim. This is the College Football Tailgate Big Show Week 8 preview and picks edition. Lots of games to go through. Erik, once again, blasting out so many picks that you might even go blind. This is not common for Uncle Rico here.
Dude, I have so many fucking bets today. I'm wired.
You might have more than me.
I hate it, dude. But you know what? I've been seeing the board well the last 2 weeks. Hopefully we can stay at get hot.
Sports Facts chiming in. OK State covered for you one last night, Uncle Rico.
You know what? And fucking Florida State should have covered 22. Yeah. In my eyes, BYU they're frauds. I have a couple of teams there on my fraud list. BYU's frauds. They should have won that game. But
yeah, but even as frauds, they can still compete in the Big 12, I think.
I think the high school team down the road can compete on the Big 12 right now.
The Big 12 is wildly entertaining.
Let me rephrase that. Take out Iowa State, and I think the high school team on the street could compete in the Big 12.
You ready to get into some picks today, Erik?
I'm ready, man. I got way too many.
11 a.m. I don't think we have any picks in this one. Maybe you might. I don't remember what your picks were. I wrote them down a while ago. Miami, Florida, heading down to Louisville to take on the Cardinal. Miami is a 5-point road favorite, over under of 60.5, plus 164 on the money line for the Cardinals. Erik, this is a big ACC matchup. What do you have?
Remember how I mentioned there's certain teams I think are frauds? Miami is a fraud in my eyes. Miami gives up explosive plays. What does Louisville specialize in on offense? Explosive plays. Miami can be run on, which is saying a lot because when you look on their strength of schedule, it's not an illustrious team, illustrious list of teams that can run the ball.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
Louisville is going to be able to run the ball. When we look at what Va-Tech did, Va-Tech was able to run all over them. Louisville is going to be able to do the same thing. I've been saying it, the way to disrupt the Miami offense is to have a pass rush. Per PFF, Louisville, 12th best pass rushing team in college football. Louisville, in my eyes, has been way more battle-tested. Also, their quarterback, Tyler Slug, was at Oregon.
Dude, he's pretty good.
Revenge game against Mario Cristobal. He was at Oregon, left, went down to Texas Tech last 2 years, and now up at Louisville, revenge game. And look, Mario Cristobal, 43% ATS as a favorite. Give me Louisville +5 and +175.
I like both those. I'm probably going to end up getting involved. I don't have anything in this game officially, but I'll probably.
Jim, boo.
I know. I got nothing right now. But the only thing I would get involved with is the +5. Yeah. Because it's what you always say, Erik, all the time. I feel like this is a buy low moment for Louisville and a sell high for Miami all in one game. Because I feel like Miami people are super high on them right now. Their quarterback right now is the favorite of the quarterbacks to win the Heisman. People are all over Cam Ward. Mario has scraped by a couple games. And Louisville has been on the receiving end. And also, this is like a Jeff Brom special. Where he just comes in for the upset. Let's make some money. How will the ACC refs gift Miami the game this time?
That's pretty good.
That's fair.
That's fair. Good point.
Also at 11 a.m., Nebraska heading to Indiana. The Hoosiers are 6.5-point home favorites. Over under of 49, plus 195 on the money line for my Cornhuskers.
So can I say something?
Go ahead.
I love this fucking Indiana coach, dude.
Oh, dude, Kurt Signetti is awesome. I love him so much. I've loved him since early JMU.
I love how he was like, yeah, I win. Google me. That's literally something I would say. Yeah, I win. Google me.
He's amazing. I love him.
But I will say this, and I mean, dude, I'm happy for you that your team is doing well. But to me, this kind of feels like, hey, we're here. We're going to have a chance to kick a field goal to go up 2 with 30 seconds left, and your kicker's going to miss it wide left.
Yeah, this has all the makings of a very close Nebraska loss. That's very heartbreaking and very reminiscent of the last 5-6 years. If we keep it close like that, though, I'll be at least somewhat okay. We only need, in my mind, to have a successful season, we only need to win One more game. We just got to make a bowl. Just got to make a bowl. It's been too long.
That's it? That's the standard right now for you, buddy?
Erik, do you know the last time? Do you know the Power 4 team with the longest bowl drought currently?
Nebraska.
Yeah. It's been since 2016. Yeah, that's the fucking standard because we haven't been reaching it.
Jesus, dude.
It's awful here. It's awful.
Struggling over there, man.
I'm expecting that to be a really good game, though. I'm excited. Curtis Rourke needs to clean up his early game. Pretty rough these last couple weeks, like to start out. But obviously he's been cleaning up because Indiana's just been rolling over everybody.
You realize Indiana could be undefeated when they have to play Ohio State.
Yeah, I do. That'd be amazing. ECU Army. Army is a 17-point home favorite here, over under 53 plus 525 on the money line for the Pirates. Erik, some people were saying that ECU was supposed to be the most improved team in the country this year. I had to say it because Chase is in here.
So here's the thing. Are we going to live in a world where my Army and Navy play in the American Championship game with both undefeated, with a chance to go to the college football playoff, and then the following week play the Army-Navy game?
And the Army-Navy game doesn't matter?
Yeah. Are we going to live in that world?
I really hope we do, because also in that world, they both played Notre Dame throughout the season. That means they both beat Notre Dame.
That would be funny, though, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then we get to see people twist their heads over like an 11-1 beat Boise State versus an undefeated Army or Navy.
What happens if Army beats Navy in
the ACC
American
championship game?
Yeah.
AAC.
And then they lose to them in the Army-Navy game.
Well, they do the playoff selection before the Army-Navy game.
Oh, they do? Well,
yeah. The playoffs are already set before the Army-Navy game.
Mute point then, my friend. Mute point.
The hilarious thing would be is if Army does beat Navy and then loses in the Army-Navy game, because then it takes all the wind out of the sails of the playoff game. I do have a bet in this game. I took Army minus 17.5.
But
against ECU, I don't care, dude. I'm standing by. I ride these trains. Army and Navy have been beating the shit out of bad teams, and ECU, until further notice, is still a bad team. So I'm rolling with Army here. I'm rolling with the Black Knights of Army, minus 17.5.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of points, man.
Erik, you know me. There's no such thing as a lot of points to me.
That's a lot of points, dude.
Auburn, Missouri. Missouri is a 4-point home favorite here in this one. Over under is 49.5, plus 150 on the money line for the Tigers. Erik!
I took Auburn here. I got it at 4.5. Hugh Freeze, 68% ATS as a dog in the conference in the SEC, 64% ATS. Auburn should have beaten Oklahoma, in a position to beat Cal, in a position to beat Arkansas. Flip side, let's take a step back and let's look at Missouri. Boat raced, completely boat raced by Texas A&M. And they should have lost to Vandy. Turnover regression is coming for Auburn. Auburn has lost 15 turnovers this year. They've gotten 4. The ball's going to bounce. Eventually, all of it always comes back to the mean. Missouri's defense has holes in it. To me, Auburn, I have a better coach. I have the running game. Thorne has looked better, and I have the better defense. I'm going to take Auburn here, plus the 4.5.
Yeah, is Missouri on your fraud list as well?
They are.
Okay.
Maybe I should release my fraud list.
Oh, Erik, hey, drum that up for next week. Get that ready.
Fraud.
The Uncle Rico fraud watch.
Frauds.
This is like a classic sort. I just can't get behind Auburn. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. They're having that classic thing where they lose all these close games. No, I refuse.
You sound like you're talking to a kid. No,
I refuse because like everything you're saying is correct. Like Missouri have been fraudulent. No. Auburn defense has actually been pretty decent for most of the season. It's the offense been putting them in bad positions that has like caused these games to get out of hand. I like Auburn in this spot, but no. Virginia, Clemson. Clemson is a 20.5-point favorite in this matchup. The over-under 57.5 plus 850 on the money line for the Virginia Cavaliers. I took something in this one. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think Virginia will be a thorn in a lot of sides of the ACC. I went with the over 57.5 in this matchup. I think Virginia's offense can score. Clemson, obviously, I think is going to be putting up points. They've just been putting up like boatloads of points against every opponent, it feels like.
What's Clemson to make the playoffs?
Right now, probably... Oh, also, I hate the Lakers was asking, pink coffee cup, Erik?
Yeah, dude, what's wrong with it? It says
Nothing.
Hello Gorgeous on it. What's wrong with that?
Let's see. To make the playoffs. Futures to make playoffs. Minus 175.
Really? Shit, dude. I wonder what they were after
Georgia?
Georgia, yeah.
That would have been the time to get them. I had that one bet. I made the bet, and it all rested on the Georgia game. I really think Clemson can go undefeated.
I think, dude, if they play Miami, they are going to boat
race them, right?
It's not even going to be close.
I took the over 57.5 in this game. I think Virginia can kind of like keep up a little bit and put up some points. Give me that over. Wisconsin, Northwestern. Wisconsin's an 8.5-point road favorite here. Over under 42 plus 275 on the
Holy
money
shit!
line.
Indiana's plus 240.
Oh, that's not okay. Wisconsin, I just want to mention, has been boat racing teams as of late. They've been kind of finding something out. I don't hate them at minus 8.5.
Is that an official bet?
No, it's not. I don't hate them, though. Arizona State, Cincinnati. Cincinnati minus 5.5. Over under 51 plus 170 on the money line for Arizona State. Just want to mention Arizona State trotting out my boy, Jeff Sims, the turnover machine.
Hence the line move.
Yeah, hence now they're 5.5-point dogs to Cincinnati.
So I want nothing here.
I also want nothing here.
Dude, what the fuck is everyone judging me for?
Erik's getting judged. I'm rocking the Delaware sweater too.
Dude, it is cold as shit here in Chicago, dude. I have the Carhartt on. I have my winter cap. I got my sweats on. I got socks on.
South Carolina, Oklahoma, Erik. South Carolina 1-point road favorite. Basically a pick 'em. Over under 41. This is gonna be a defensive battle, I think.
I would take if I had to take a play.
I would take South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think their defensive line is better, and I think
Oklahoma doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, Oklahoma doesn't have a quarterback. Give me South Carolina. I'm not taking it, but if I had to, I might end up doing that, but no. Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan. I just want your take, Erik. Who wins the game outright? I don't care. -3 for Eastern Michigan, but
I would say Central. I mean, I thought their backup quarterback looked pretty good. Emmanuel may be coming back. More plays for him.
Chase is on Arkansas money line there. I'm always going to roll with Eastern Michigan. I don't understand. I feel like Chris Creighton's got to be high on your coaching, like coaches you like list.
Oh, I like him a lot.
God, I love that man. Tulsa Temple. Temple's a 3-point home favorite here. Over under 52 plus 130 on the money line for the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa. Why do I mention this one? Because I took Tulsa +3.
Jesus, dude.
Fade the Owls, baby. Fade Temple. Fade Rice. Fade FAU. Fade the fucking Owl teams. I do not care. Both these teams stink. I'm going to take Tulsa. Alabama, Tennessee.
I would take too.
One of the premier matchups of the week, Alabama, Tennessee. Alabama is a 3-point road favorite. Over under a 57.5. Plus 124 on the money line for the Tennessee Volunteers. Big game.
What do you trust more? Tennessee's bad offense or Auburn's bad defense? Alabama's bad defense. Whoever you trust better, that's who you
I
got.
trust Tennessee's offense a little bit just because, this game is must-watch TV. I trust Tennessee's offense because they've done good things against bad defenses.
There's a different game I'm going to be watching at this hour.
Erik, you can watch multiple games.
Got to lock in, Jim.
You got to lock in.
That's the only game I bet on. But
Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. Notre Dame is a 13.5-point road favorite, over under 49.
I was going to be on Tech here.
Oh, same.
If they had their start at QB1.
No Haynes King?
No King. The King is no more.
That does hurt because I was also going to be on Tech here if Haynes King was in. Because I think Tech's they're a feisty team. And they're good at running the ball, especially with him in there. I think you could do some damage to this Notre Dame team. I'm excited to see Notre Dame play the service academies.
Oh my God, I think they're going to lose both. It's going to be marvelous.
Amazing. Michigan, Illinois. Michigan is a 4.5-point road favorite, over under 44.5, plus 160 on the money line.
I'll tell you what.
I did it. I took Illinois. Plus 4 and on the money line. I did it. I think Illinois has just maybe a slightly worse defense than Michigan, but I think they have an incredibly better offense.
One of the best sound bites I ever got for you was when you're like, home, Bert. That was a good one.
Also home Bert. I think coaching advantage Illinois. Easily.
Really?
I think so. Well, I don't know of what we've seen out of Sherrone Moore so far at Michigan proves that he's a better coach than Burt.
Yeah, that's true.
Give me Illinois straight up. I got him plus 4, and I got him straight up.
Okay. Also
at 2:30, Charlotte at Navy. The Clit at the Boat. Navy is a 16.5-point home favorite. Over under 56 plus 490 on the money line. Again, I'm taking the service academies. I got Navy minus 16 here.
You don't think it's a flat spot for Navy with?
No, I think this is a sell high on Charlotte. Charlotte's coming off of a 2-game win streak right now. There's no, dude. It's I mean, don't give Biff Poggi. Maybe I'm disrespecting Charlotte and Biff Poggi here. Maybe that's the motivation they need to do something dangerous here. But I'm gonna disrespect Biff Poggi and Charlotte.
This is a flat spot. I had a serious conversation with myself about taking Charlotte, but I didn't do it.
No, I'm disrespecting them. I'm disrespecting Charlotte. I'm disrespecting Biff Poggi. I'm taking Navy. I took a minus 16. UAB, South Florida. Is there any coach more fired than Trent Dilfer right now?
No. I hope he has his kid on the sidelines.
I hope he does too. I hope he just doesn't. Yeah. USF is a 13.5-point home favorite, over under 56.5. Guess what? I took USF here minus the 13.5, and I took the over. I took it over 57. I think USF is going to be able to put points on this UAB defense that is almost non-existent.
USF, another team I'm a little bit disappointed in.
Yeah, they've been a little I remember doing the AAC preview. We were both pretty high on them.
Yeah. They've had some injuries. Yeah, I think they're a fade until they make a change. You know what I mean? Like you have to. This team doesn't want to be there. They don't want to fight for him at all.
The fans hate him.
The fans hate him. Awful hire.
Meanwhile, the interim they had is killing it at ULM right now,
which is great.
I love seeing
ULM could win the Fun Belt, dude. How funny! They're like 100-1.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. NC State at Cal. Cal minus 9.5. I'm just continuing my streak of picking every Cal game. I took Cal. It's a lot of points, but at home,
I got
to
nothing.
travel, I think I like Cal here.
I got nothing.
Let's keep going down. Houston at Kansas. I just want to say Kansas is a 5-point favorite. Kansas, you can't lose. You can lose a lot of games in this down year that is the Kansas football team. You can't lose to Houston this year. Just can't do it. But, dude, Fritz has been kind of like turning it back up. Fritz has been like doing some interesting things right now.
And Leipold, without the OC,
I think there's a lot of other factors to it too.
Okay.
I think Jane Daniels isn't as good as we thought. He's been like, we've only ever seen him like 3 or 4 weeks out of a season before this one.
Yeah.
I think the not having an actual home stadium kind of hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously losing Andy Kotelnicki is major, but I think that is recoverable.
Okay.
Like, I still believe in Lance Leipold.
Still believe you're a truther.
He's one of those, like, okay, Lance Leipold, another one of those guys who's just won everywhere he's been.
Kind of like me.
Exactly. I would trust Erik as a coach. Toledo, Northern Illinois, NIU minus 2.5 at home, over under 43.5 plus 120 on the money line.
Toledo.
I took Toledo.
Toledo bounce.
Toledo. Yeah, Toledo bounce back. I took Toledo here. Money line plus 120. Don't overthink it. Take Toledo. Take the Rockets. Western Michigan, Buffalo. Western Michigan get this dub. They're a 1-point road favorite. Can they do it?
I was going to be on them if they were getting points. I was a little shocked they were a favorite here.
I was also a little shocked by it.
I think they have the advantages in the trenches. Kind of the big win for the futures that we have on them. I would lean them, but I didn't bet them.
Ohio versus Miami of Ohio, where Miami of Ohio is a 4-point home favorite. I just took the Ohio Bobcats straight up at plus 145. I don't know what it is about this team that they're winning. They be winning.
But did you see that game against Central?
Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, they could do nothing except run the ball with the quarterback, and then Central's starting quarterback comes in. They have the freshman backup come in, and he just starts slinging the ball down the field. I mean, they were in legit position to lose that game.
Yes, they were. 3 p.m. USC Maryland. USC is a 7.5-point road favorite, over under 57 plus 225 on the money line for Maryland. Erik.
I took Maryland here plus 7.5 and plus 225. We talked about this summer when we did these previews. USC's size in the trenches against these Big Ten teams. Ways to hurt Maryland is what? Deep shots. USC doesn't have that. To piggyback my thought, USC is very small in the tackle position. Maryland's going to have the advantage with their defensive line. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. With that being said, they're not going to be able to take advantage of the back four of Maryland. And USC is not a team built to take deep shots. They're more of an underneath and run central type offense. Last 20 years, USC playing in the Eastern time zone on the East Coast, 29% ATS. The last 10 years, 18%. They're just not traveling out well east. Purdue, Oregon looked decent last night, but it wasn't a dominant performance. Purdue was running the ball successfully against them. Purdue had a couple more dogs. I think they could have been in a position to cover that game. I think this is something we need to monitor moving forward. These teams from the West Coast making the trip out east. What is
and vice versa?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. What is the mental state of USC?
Like we saw it with Miami Cal when Miami had to go all the way to friggin' Berkeley.
These teams
should have lost that game.
Weird time zone switches. Mental state of USC. No chance of making the college football playoff now after that loss to Penn State. No chance of making the Big Ten championship game. What is their mental state right now? How much, you know what I mean? Like, how fired up really are they? Let's look at this travel situation. They played a physical game, lost to Michigan, came back out west, had a comeback win against Wisconsin, then traveled out to Minnesota. Minnesota out manhandled them. They lost. Then you travel back out west, lose in overtime to Penn State. Now you got to travel all the way out east to play Maryland.
I'm liking it. The more you speak, the more it makes sense.
That's just way too much. I don't think Lincoln Riley is a good front runner, if that makes sense, in a position like this where he really has to like pump the guys and motivate the team up when there's basically nothing to play for. I'm going to take Maryland here. I got him as plus 7.5, plus 225.
God, I don't hate that. You make so much sense. I stayed away from this one. Maryland's been kind of shaky for me recently. I had a lot more high hopes for Maryland this season. They haven't lived up to them, so I've just been kind of putting them on the do not bet shelf for now. Also at 3 p.m., Colorado, Arizona. Arizona 2.5-point favorite here. This is going to be a bigger game. I think Travis Hunter's back, too.
Yeah.
Very winnable for Colorado to, like, kind of put themselves in, still, like, keep themselves in the talks for the Big 12 championship.
I thought it was very douchey of Travis Hunter to be like, "Whoa, I got the ball. If I got the ball, dude." Like,
did you know if he got the ball, if he received the ball on offense as many times as Ashton Genty, he still wouldn't have the yards and touchdowns?
like, dude. I mean, don't get it wrong. He's insane.
He's crazy. He's incredible.
It was just such a douchey thing to say, dude. Like, you play 100 plays a game, both on offense and defense. You'd be a top 10 pick if you're just a wide receiver or just a DB. You're probably the best player in college. Be fine with that, man. Just be fine with that. Don't say anything douchey.
Colorado. This is a very interesting game for the dynamics of the Big 12. Also, I'll just say this: most Big 12 games are at least interesting and very fun. Like, they're crazy. They're crazy. Baylor, Texas Tech. Texas Tech 5.5-point favorite. Speaking of, like, we haven't even mentioned Texas Tech, still like a favorite now for the Big 12.
Leading the Big 12 right now.
Yeah. Crazy. And they're probably going to win this one because Baylor sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a corpse.
Yeah. Baylor's rough right now, dude. Wyoming, San Jose State. Can Wyoming right the ship? I doubt it. Don't think so. And also, like, San Jose State, not having a bad season. Like, for season 1 under Ken Niumatalolo, coming over from Navy, like, this is good. This is good to see.
So here's my question: What did it shock you that they didn't do the old
triple? No, because I think what I've heard a lot of people say about, like, Ken Niumatalolo or Army or even Navy, like Calhoun and those guys, is that they're just good coaches. They run the option at the service academy because they have to run the option at the service academy.
Okay.
Like, they can switch a system to, like, they're just good. They're just flat out good coaches.
I'll be honest. I have nothing in this game. If I were to bet something in this game, and I said this last week, I would just look for Nick Nash props, dude. I mean, he is the best. Oh yeah, he is the best wide receiver that literally no one has heard of. So I would look for Nick Nash props. I mean, these are his games: 170, 90, 225, 152, 75, and 94. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Texas A&M's a 20-point favorite here, dude. Like, another roll.
Pass.
Dude, Texas A&M has, like, a weird, like, in the driver's seat situation for the SEC. I hate it.
That game against Texas should be fun, though.
That'll be a blast. LSU, Arkansas. LSU 2.5-point on the road. Over under 57 plus 110 on the money line for the Razorbacks. We already know what Chase is on.
You know what I'm on?
What are you on, Erik?
I'm on Arkansas here. I got it +3. Sammy covers 73% ATS as a dog, 64% ATS home dog. Letdown spot for LSU coming off that overtime victory against Ole Miss last week with Arkansas on extended rest. Kelly, 43% ATS road favorite in conference play. LSU is a one-dimensional offense, and Arkansas is going to have extended rest to prepare for that. Their DC is probably going to be one of the hot coaches hires. He is probably the best DC in the SEC. He is going to be able to limit what LSU wants to do offensively. LSU struggles. We saw this in the South Carolina game, which they should have lost, with the SEC refs didn't give it to them. They struggle with the RPO with mobile quarterbacks. That's what Arkansas has. Arkansas, I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry, Chase, they could be 6-0 going into this game. Easily be 6-0 going into this game. If they were 6-0, they would obviously be favored here. I think Arkansas has a coaching advantage. I'll take Arkansas here, +3.
I also want to credit like Pittman and the Arkansas staff for being able to find DCs. Like they replaced Barry Odom pretty successfully, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm rooting for Arkansas here. I didn't bet them. I'm rooting for Arkansas. My only question for you, Erik, is that 43% road favorite ATS for Kelly in conference. What is the sample size even of that?
You want me to look right
He's
now?
only been in conference for like what? I guess you could go back to his Cincinnati, like his early pre-Notre Dame days.
It's like for every conference.
But
you want a breakdown of it?
Does it count for Notre Dame? Like, what does it do by conference? Is it just in general?
I think in Notre Dame, it's when he played at Independence.
Okay. No, that's fine then. If they did it that way, that's fine.
Jen, I'm pulling up the data point for you.
Okay. Pull up your data because I just he's only been there for 2 years, right?
All right, Brian Kelly. Road. Fave. Matchup info conference. All right, so in the SEC, okay.
So these are just old-time matchups against SEC schools.
SEC 2-5. Big East 6-5-1, MAC 4-2 as an independent. So when he plays other independent schools, 18-15-1. So when you add all those up, that's how
okay. That makes sense then. I just wanted to see how the data was broke down.
Hey buddy, I'm a data guy. Data.
Game of the day at 6:30 p.m. It is Georgia at Texas. The Longhorns are 4.5-point home favorites, over under 57.5, plus 164 on the money line. I got something in this game.
I do too.
Erik's got something in this game. What do you got?
I took Georgia. I got it at +5. Georgia, top 14th in the country pass rush. They're going to be able to get to Urs even with this great Texas offensive line. Texas, even though they have a great offensive line, they tend to lean on the passing game a little bit more. Georgia, you take out that first quarter against Bama, you know what I mean? Like, they were in a position to win that game. It was a little bit of a weird first quarter. I think they're a little bit more, I know they're more battle tested than Texas is when you take a step back and kind of look at who Texas has played. The weakness of Texas defense is their secondary. Beck has looked good. I think he's going to be able to test that secondary. Another weakness is the interior defending the run. I think Etienne's going to be able to have success running in the middle. I think this is a good matchup for Georgia offensively. And look, if something's broke, don't fix it. There's been 30 SEC conference games this year. Do you care to guess what the Dogs' record is in those games?
Ooh. I'm going to say 14 wins for the Dog.
21-9 for the Dog. 70% ATS cover rate. Look, give it to me. Georgia +5.
I just took the over. I took over 57.5 in this game. I think both teams are going to be able to put up points. I think we're going to have another fun, exciting late night main game shootout.
Boom, 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 boom.
Kansas State, West Virginia. K-State 3-point road favorite. This is a dangerous damn game. Oh, Erik's doing it because he hates Avery Johnson.
I'm just spitting facts, dude. West Virginia here, +3.
Yeah, that's
another team that's on my fraud list. K-State.
How are they frauds?
They're one-dimensional. Avery Johnson can't throw the ball.
That's fair, but they can run the hell out of the ball.
And guess what West Virginia is? They have one of the top 25 run defense. They're going to be able to limit. And if you have to rely on Avery Johnson to run the ball, that's not a winning formula. Also, Iowa, top 10 defending the run. Iowa State, top 10 defending the run. West Virginia was averaging 4.6 yards per carry last week. If you're able to run on Iowa State, you're going to be able to run in Kansas State. You have a quarterback in Kansas State who can't throw the ball. They're going to rely on the run game. If you're constantly in third and second and long, it's just a recipe for disaster in my eyes. Morgantown at night getting
it's crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Give it to me, man. Just give it to me. And I'm pulling up K-State's schedule right here.
I think one of the better home field advantages is Morgantown at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get K-State's schedule pulled up?
I mean, I'm looking at it. They should have lost to Tulane. Boat race by BYU, who's on the fraud list.
That was a weird game. That was a very weird game.
Oklahoma State had walk-ons playing, and it was a good game until the mid of the third quarter when it just completely fell off for Oklahoma State. Could have lost to Colorado. Yeah, dude, give it to me, man. Frauds.
Okay.
Frauds.
Also at 6:30 in the Big 12, UCF, Iowa State. Iowa State, a 13-point home favorite.
You talk about a team that's quit, man.
Yeah, they were I thought they were decent to start the season. They are out of it.
They are deuces.
They're donezo. Yeah, I love Iowa State. Just want to take this time to say it. Cyclones, I'm glad I got the future.
They look good, man.
I'm glad I got the future. I at least got one team. I at least got one conference right.
And my Troy under bet already hit, dude.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm going over a bunch of bets since we're kind of over the halfway point of the season. Still, my worst future bet was Rice. Easily.
Oh, mine was Wyoming. I mean, not even.
All of ours Wyoming for sure, but mine Rice way more. I stand by that. I bet I said that Cal could win the ACC, and they looked good.
They have looked good.
They looked good.
They could have easily beat Pitt. They should have beat Miami.
Yep. God. At 6:30, Iowa at your Michigan State Spartans. Iowa is a 6-point favorite here, over under 39.5 plus 195 on the money line.
Jesus Christ, I have another effing bet. I took Michigan State plus 5.5 and plus 185. Smith off a bye, 64% ATS as a dog. In general, 58%. Iowa, this isn't the Iowa that we're used to. Their defensive line isn't as good as it's been in years past, and you're able to have success running the ball on them. Michigan State, that's what they like to do. They're going to lean on that running game, open stuff up for Childs, a young quarterback. MSU is good defending the run. They are sneaky good defending the run. If Johnson can't get it going, and now you're trusting McNamara, who is awful.
Awful. I was wrong on him.
On the road, I mean, this is just a success. This is just, you have Iowa coming off a big win over Washington. Now you have to go on the road to play Michigan State, who is probably a little bit more battle tested when you look at who they've played. We need to remember Michigan State, their first two drives against Ohio State, they had drives in the red zone and they turned the ball over. If they score there, I'm not saying they're winning that game, but that game's going to be a little bit closer. You're going to put a little bit more scoreboard pressure on Ohio State. I think Michigan State's going to be able to move the ball here. I don't think Iowa State's defense is as good as it's been in years past. I think they're going to struggle running the ball. McNamara is a turnover machine. Give me Michigan State here plus the 5.5 and plus 180.
My only worry, and he is electric and one of the more entertaining people to watch in college football, but Aiden Childs does sometimes have a tendency to want to turn the ball over.
But you know what? He's winning the Heisman next year, so it's okay.
Yeah, next year, I believe. But he's like he's a little fast and loose with it. So my only worry is if somehow the run game doesn't like produce, and I still believe that you'll be able to drive down the field. I'm just worried about a couple key, like it's how Iowa wins all their games this year. Is like a couple key Michigan State turnovers, keep them out of the game. Like Michigan wins time of possession, they win yardage, but they have like these weird key turnovers that just cost them the game. That's my only worry. I believe in the Spartans. I this was when I was going through all my stuff right here, but no, I like my women high and tight.
Okay.
Yeah. Kentucky, Florida. Kentucky -2 on the road against the Gators. Over under 41.5 plus 105 on the money line. Did you get there, Erik? Did you get there with this one?
Yeah, no.
Couldn't get there with Florida? Looking a little better these last few weeks?
I mean, are we just going to assume it's a done deal that Lane's going there?
I feel like they would have already fired Napier, right?
No.
No? I don't know. I mean, it seems that way to me. SMU, Stanford. SMU, road favorite of 17 points here.
They've turned it around nice since they benched Stone, dude.
They've looked really good. Stanford, I think, still dealing with a couple injuries. I don't love this game betting-wise, but as Erik said, this is one to watch out for. SMU, guess what? They haven't lost a conference game yet.
Jeez, SMU in the college football playoffs?
That'd be something.
That'd be weird.
UNLV, Oregon State. UNLV a 6.5 point favorite here. Talk about bench your quarterback look better. UNLV's looked great, dude.
But I took Oregon State +7 and +225.
I don't hate that.
Oregon State has struggled defending the run. I know it. But this is a spot play for me. Because UNLV on Friday night is playing Boise State, which is essentially for them an elimination game.
Yeah.
So now you just played a conference game in Elevation, which I'm going to get to a little bit later. Now you're traveling to Oregon State to play there, and you had a non-conference game. Then you have a conference game against Boise State, which basically, if you lose, is going to eliminate you from the college football playoffs. One thing Oregon State can do is they can run the ball. UNLV struggles mid-tier defending the run. If Oregon State is going to be able to run the ball, limit the time of possession, keep UNLV's offense, which has been electric on the sidelines, that is their path to victory. Also, I mentioned Elevation. Teams that have played in Elevation the week before, then the current week are road favorites, 36% against the number. But when you just look in general in the following week, it is 43% ATS. So playing in Elevation, it just tires these teams out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they were on the field. Their defense was on the field for over 90 plays last week. That is a lot. And when you look at it, the last 2 weeks, they've been on the field for a combined over 190 plays. I think this defense is going to be tired going into this spot. I think Oregon State is going to be able to win the point of attack on offense. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. Give me the Beavers +7 and +225.
Don't hate it at all. And the last game of the night, 9:30, TCU, Utah. Utah 3-point favorite. What? Hey, Cam Rising, what happened? He's still hurt.
Dude, I'm just waiting for Rising and Bowman Insurance Incorporated.
Well, you might have to wait again because Cam Rising did get approved for another year of eligibility.
Shut up, dude.
I'm not kidding.
Jesus.
I'm not kidding. If you're Utah, when do you pull the plug? If he looks like this, if he looks like he did last week, the rest of the year, probably this year.
But you have to realize is what are the other options?
Yeah, but also you need another option because he's hurt half the year.
So, okay, so if you're Oregon, are you happy with Wilson?
Yep. I mean, yeah.
No, I'm dead serious. Are you
Probably,
happy
yeah.
with Wilson going into next year? Or, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know the NIL situation off the top of my head. Are you going to be able to poach another quarterback to run it? I mean, Utah is always going to be a team because of how good they are defensively, how good they are in the trenches. That's going to be a team that can do something.
Yeah.
But
maybe with a
you
full
need
off
to-
season.
But if you're right, I mean, how old is Cam Rising?
He's like 26. Cam Rising is
25. And his birthday's in March. So that at that time next season, he is going to be 26 years old. He is older than Alan Bowman.
He was born the same year as my brother, who's like 3 years graduated already.
So, like, Jesus, dude. Dude, if like you Google him, like the first picture he has with the long hair and the mustache and the little goatee, he kind of looks like he could be your brother.
He could be. He very easily could be.
But no, it's a serious question. Like, I don't know their NOI situation. Are they going to be able to get another quarterback in the offseason that could do more? Obviously, this is what? His second or third year in a row.
Third.
It's what?
Third.
Water in the
Third
main.
year- It's third year. It's Tito's and water, everybody. It's his third season in a row of like this major injury shit.
So just let him go.
I don't know. Like they're in a weird spot. Any other plays for the day, Erik?
Oh no, I gotta pull up the
Okay.
round right now, my
Well,
friend.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna go over all of our plays. So Chase's plays
Yeah.
here. He took.
God, that's an intense sheet.
It's a very intense sheet.
Jesus Christ.
Chase went with Army minus 17, Army ECU over 51.5, Rutgers minus 5, Rutgers UCLA under 40.5, Illinois money line, Arkansas State minus 7, Georgia plus 4.5, North Texas plus 11.5, and Florida money line. I am going with Army minus 17.5, Virginia Clemson over 57.5, Tulsa plus 3, Cal minus 9.5, Illinois plus 4, and on the money line at plus 156. Ohio money line, Navy minus 16, Toledo money line at plus 120, University of South Florida minus 13.5, and the USF UAB over 57, and Georgia Texas over 57.5. Now for Uncle Rico, he's
Which
got
is like-
Louisville plus 5, and on the money line at plus 175, Auburn plus 4.5, Maryland plus 7.5, and on the money line at plus 220, Arkansas plus 3, West Virginia plus 3, Georgia plus 5, Michigan State plus 5.5, Michigan State money line plus 185, Oregon State plus 7, and Oregon State money line at plus
Jesus, dude.
210.
So this is my round robin, and Jesus Christ. I do like a lot of dogs today, as I always do, but I only took the home ones. The best situational price I could find, I am going Louisville plus 175, Terps plus 222, Beavers plus 205, Sparty plus 185, West Virginia plus 118, and Woo Pig Suey plus 118. Give me those hogs.
Woo! Here's mine. All money line. I'm going Nebraska. I'm taking the shot. Tulsa. I did this one too at Tulsa, and I'm taking the shot here. Georgia Tech. Weird shit happened. They lost to NIU.
Dude, you're just swinging for the fences, dude.
Illinois, Ohio, Toledo, and Georgia. That's my round robin.
Dude, you're just up there, dude.
You
Swinging.
want to talk about up there, Erik?
Yeah.
I got one more play. Well, actually, let me give Chase his round robin that he texted. He texted, didn't he? Yep. He's on Illinois, Arkansas, Florida, and Buffalo.
Okay.
And now it is time for my teaser. Here is the tease, Erik. I'm teasing Wisconsin down to -2. I'm teasing Colorado up to plus 8.5.
Okay.
USC down to -1.5.
Yeah, Jim.
Arkansas State -1, Memphis -5.5, Colorado State -5, and UNLV -5. We're on opposite heads of a couple of those. Erik, any other thoughts or takes for the people for Week 8 of college football? Enjoy it, folks.
Go Sparty.
Let's go Huskers. Let's go Sparty. Let's go Woo Pig fucking Suey. We love you guys. We'll see you next week for another episode of the College Football Tailgate Big Show. Bye.